So we were running down the mid lane talent. We'll go back to it. Ryoma, Niski, Crown, Froggen, Jizuke, PoE, our one NA mid laner. Golden Glue.
A beautiful one.
Thank you, Grayson Gilmer. And then Aika, Jensen, Bjergsen.
Which names? What name pops out to you? Like if you had to say one name, like one name that like you would want to discuss.
I do think Aika is worth discussing.
Yeah, I think that's the one move where I think people are gonna have the most discussion about, because I think EG set themselves up for success now by obviously when you get Erzberger in the MVP and you get Bang, you're looking for a win now solution. I don't blame them for that. When you have two.
Well, they also went after Chovy. So.
Yeah, they went after Chovy. They went after Khan. Like they were very aggressive on the market, and if they really, if it wasn't for CV Max, they probably would have gone Chovy and probably had the biggest signing in NA history. Spent a lot of money for that, but I actually think EG is a very good. I actually really respect them as an organization, and I think if you're gonna go all in on import talent, you have to go all in. And they got the best players they could with Erzberger, Bang, Zeyzal, Kumo is a blue chip prospect, and I think Jizuke is a player where I don't think they are. I think they're gonna trial him. I've heard things about they're gonna probably try to get a younger mid lane academy player to try to see if he could be ready for summer, possibly if Jizuke doesn't work out. And I've also heard that if, you know, Chovy and Showmaker, I think Chovy's deal is only 1 year, and I think Showmaker is also a free agent next year. So I think EJ is trying to set themselves up for 2020 offseason where they really want a centerpiece in the mid lane, and I don't think that Jizuke will deter them from that. But I think Aika in the mid lane for Immortals is the one that people are really going to be looking at, where what is Immortals trying to do there? Like, it feels like their ceiling is a 4, 5, 6 seed, and their floor is 10th, and it's a thing of Soaz is a veteran player, Xmithie veteran player, All Tech disappeared for a year or two, but he's a veteran player. Haku is a veteran player. It's a very Team Liquid strategy of investing in a lot of older talent, and the thing is that when you invest in older talent, you need to win. Like, you can't just get 5th place and then lose in the first round and be like, oh, whoop-de-doo, we had success, because then looking to 2021, you don't have anything to go off of. So I think that is the team to really look at when it comes to their mid lane choice.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of pressure on Aika coming to this team.
And it's nothing against him. It's nothing, like, it's not his fault. Like, this is his chance to play in a major league. From all reports,
I mean, he's played in EU LCS. We call it LEC now. He's played in EU LCS.
And if you look at his stats, like, he was destroying the French league. So it's nothing against him. It's a question of, is Immortals going to be investing in Soaz and Aika as kind of their future? Like, if you're going to do your 2 import player rules, are they going to be investing in those 2 players from the future forward, or is this a attempt to try to get a 6th or 5th seed and not be, a bottom feeder in the first year back in, LCS?
I think a lot of people, when they evaluate how well a player does, if they're really, really raw, and again, like, coming out of North America, you are going to know less than someone who has similar experience coming off of, like, this Korean solo queue ladder, right? But the thing with Soligo is that he was also put in a really rough position because he was called up. And in that kind of situation, people are like, okay, how well are you going to do? We're watching you.
Be a savior. You're 20,
you're 20
years old.
You've never played before. We're looking at you to,
be a savior.
Just pop off. And that's kind of an unfair position to be put in because it's a lot of pressure. And I think Soligo is really talented.
The issue is that if, for Soligo, he does that and it's, oh, LOL, NA, mid, you suck, you have no talent. Let's say he was, Belgian or Swedish or French, and he was an import. People would say, oh, NA, it's not his fault. Like, NA just sucks. Like, it's not the player's fault if you're an import. It's that the region made them bad. And then we've seen that time and time again with imports when they don't work out. It's not that player was bad per se. It's that NA made them bad. It's never that player was on the downhill spiral to begin with, and that they just took the cash and kind of, cashed out, and it was just poor scouting by NA teams, which has happened many, many times in the last, 5 years since, the floodgates have opened. but it's a thing of those those imports have the thing of like, oh yeah, NA made them bad. It's never that they're bad, it's that NA made them bad. When you're an NA player, you're just, you're bad because you're born in NA. That means you don't have any talent. So I hopefully, we see more resources poured into scouting grounds and the collegiate scene, which have developed a lot of we're seeing more collegiate talent going on academy teams. I think Breezy from 100 Thieves Academy, who was just signed, is from the collegiate scene. We see Julian, another up and coming mid laner. Gorica
helped found his team with no money and support from.
So I think there is definitely a future, and I think people are going to harp on NA so small. The player base in NA is still 1.5 million plus. Like, it's not a small pool of players. Like, yes, Europe, I believe, is EU East and EU West is about I think 4 million. Korea is 2.5, and then China is 1,000 servers.
China has 33 servers.
Yeah, so they have 33 servers, so it's
At least. Last time I heard it was 33.
So 10 plus million players, and that's, rounding down. So 1.5 compared to 2.5 in Korea, it's a sizable gap, but it doesn't mean that there isn't talent. It's not, we've seen talent, grow in other esports in much smaller pools with North American talent. Counter-Strike for so many years was the same. It was very similar where NA Counter-Strike was LOL Counter-Strike NA. You'll never win anything. All NA players suck. They need to import. They need it in the best Counter-Strike team for so many years was Team Liquid when they brought over Simple, and it was a thing of Team Liquid isn't good. It's Simple that's carrying them. But nowadays, years after years, we saw Cloud9 with an NA roster win a major. And now 2 of the top 4 teams in the world, Team Liquid and Evil Geniuses, are primarily North American. So it's not a thing where it's not something that can't be overcome. It just needs.
I think that's kind of a specious comparison, only because there are less opportunities for North American players to play on higher ping, which is why you see again so many North American orgs are not boot camping in NA. They're boot camping in Europe, China, and South Korea. So I think there are inherent infrastructure issues that are a problem in NA where it is landlocked. There are a lot fewer opportunities to play against better teams.
That's
where
true.
If you are a Counter-Strike team,
you're traveling the world
again, one of
often.
my favorite stories in Counter-Strike is of the original Kaboom Cade roster with Fallen, where they were basically boot camping and streaming for money after Aspen just to go get the chance to compete over in Europe. And that was kind of the start of their trajectory to becoming one of the best teams in the world at that time. So, but I did want to bring that up because, if you're a team in China and Korea, those teams regularly scrim each other. If you're a team in Europe, you can, if you're a smaller team in Europe, a regional league team, you can still scrim LCS teams. It's really difficult for North American teams to get that same kind of practice, and there are problems inherent in solo queue because the ping is so high.